Continuing our reading of Caitanya Caritamrita, we are in the introduction. So usually before reading Caitanya Caritamrita, then the devotees will recite Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya
Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Advaita
Jaya
Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri
Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
So
3 times, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Vishnu does not require anything in order to create. He does not require the goddess Lakshmi in order to give birth to Brahma. For Brahma is born from a lotus flower that grows from the navel of Vishnu. The goddess Lakshmi sits at the feet of Vishnu and serves him. So it's not that, that Krishna, like how we need man and woman to unite to have the offspring, the child can be born. But Lord Vishnu doesn't do that. He doesn't need Lakshmi Devi so that all these living entities can be born, or even Lord Brahma can be born. No, Lord Brahma is just coming out of the navel of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Goddess Lakshmi sits at the feet of Vishnu and serves him. Now the whole material world is running after Lakshmi. We say we don't want Narayan. Forget Narayan. We want Lakshmi. So we have all this Lakshmi Puja, Durga Puja for the Devi because we want this opulence. But what does she do? What does she want? She wants to serve Krishna. She's sitting at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. That's what she wants to do. She wants to serve Krishna. So if we want to have Lakshmi, we should have Narayan. We should worship Narayan, and then Lakshmi Devi will come because she's a chaste wife. In the material world, sex is required to produce children, but in the spiritual world, a man can produce as many children as he likes without having to take help from his wife. So there is no sex there. Because we have no experience with spiritual energy, we think that Brahma's birth from the navel of Vishnu is simply a fictional story. We are not aware that spiritual energy is so powerful that it can do anything and everything. Material energy is dependent on certain laws, but spiritual energy is fully independent. So our experience, our exposure is only to the material energy. And material energy we can see is very, very limited. And our brains are so tiny and limited, then we can't even understand this material energy properly. We can't understand how the functioning of the universe is functioning, how everything is being so systematic, how this own body is functioning. We are amazed to try to find, to do that. And then we are not even able to understand the material energy. And so we put that limited perception to the spiritual energy. We think, oh, material energy is like that, so spiritual energy also should be like that. Like the frog in the well. Because the frog has always stayed in the well, he doesn't know how vast the ocean can be. So he thinks that, oh, the ocean is also just like the well. But that's not true. You can't compare a well to an ocean. Yeah, so the spiritual energy is fully independent. She's Krishna's internal energy. Countless universes reside like seeds within the skin pores of Mahavishnu. And when he exhales, they are all manifested. In the material world, we have no experience of such a thing, but we do experience a perverted reflection in the phenomenon of perspiration. So Mahavishnu, all these universes are coming out from his pores when he's exhaling, when he's breathing out. And so Prabhupada is saying a little bit we can see is that when we sweat, there's so much sweat coming out from this pores, right? And then there are so many germs and the bacteria also there. So this is just a perverted reflection. We cannot imagine, however, the duration of one breath of Mahavishnu. For within one breath, All the universes are created and annihilated. So imagine how long is Mahavishnu's breath. So we can see that how time is so relative, you know, it's very relative. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma lives only for the duration of one breath. And according to our time scale, 4,320 4,320,000,000 years constitute only 12 hours for Brahma. And Brahma lives 100 of his years. Yet the whole life of Brahma is contained within one breath of Mahavishnu. Thus, it is not possible for us to imagine the breathing power of Mahavishnu, who is but a partial manifestation of Lord Nityananda. This, the author of Caitanya Caritamrita explains in the 9th verse. So Lord Nityananda, we say Gaur Nitai, so Lord Nitai, he is Mahavishnu. He is creating all these universes and exhaling and inhaling, and the universes are being created and devastated. So how powerful is he? And he's coming here and begging us, chant Hare Krishna. How merciful he is. In the 10th and 11th verses, Krishnadas Kaviraj describes Garbhodakshay Vishnu and Kshirodakshay Vishnu, successive plenary expansions of Mahavishnu. Brahma appears upon a lotus growing from the navel of Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and within the stem of that lotus are so many planetary systems. So Mahavishnu lies down in the Karana ocean. Mahavishnu or Karana Dakshay Vishnu, both is the same person. And then from his breathing, from his skin pores come unlimited numbers of universes. Then he enters into each universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. The lower part of the universe is filled with water. He lies down on that water, on the Ananta Shesh, on his snake bed. And then from this Garbhodakshay Vishnu comes a lotus flower. And then on the top of this lotus flower, Brahmaji is sitting. And inside the stem, inside of the stem of this lotus, there are so many different planetary systems are there. And then Brahma creates the whole of human society, animal society, everything. So Brahmaji creates the secondary creation. All the ingredients are given to him by the Karana Dakshay Vishnu and Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Lord Vishnu gives him all the ingredients, like the earth, the potter, he has the earth already. He has the water. He just mixes it, puts it on his wheel, and then he sculpts. Then he makes a pot. That's how he makes a pot. So it's not that the potter creates the earth and creates the water, and then he creates the pot. No. So Brahma is like that, the potter. Everything is there. Kshirodakshay Vishnu lies on the milk ocean within the universe, of which he's the controller and maintainer. So again, inside each universe, Kshirodakshay Vishnu is there. He's the Paramatma in everyone's heart and Paramatma in every atom. And he is in charge of the maintenance of that particular universe. Any problem that happens, then Brahmaji goes to this milk ocean to visit Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Thus, Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and when the time for annihilation arrives, Shiva will finish everything. In the first 11 verses of the Caitanya Caritamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami thus discusses Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Sri Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lord Nityananda as Balaram, the first expansion of Krishna. So it's so detailed explanation is given for our benefit, so we can understand the position. What is Krishna's position? What is Lord Chaitanya's position? What is Lord Nityananda's position? So we don't think of them as ordinary human beings like us, because we have that tendency. We think everybody, even Krishna, is like us because he's coming in a human-like form. And because Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are also coming in human-like forms, they are like us. No, but they are the Supreme Lords. So, then in the 12th and 13th verses, he describes Advaita Acharya, who is another principal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and an incarnation of Mahavishnu. So who is Advaita Acharya? We say Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. So we know Sri Krishna Chaitanya. We say Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he is Lord Krishna in the mood of Radharani. Then we say Prabhu Nityananda. So who's Prabhu Nityananda? He's Balaramji. He is the Mahavishnu. Shiro Daksha Vishnu, Garbha Daksha Vishnu, all are coming from Lord Nityananda. Then we say Sri Advaita Acharya. Now who is this Advaita Acharya? He is an incarnation of Mahavishnu. So he is also an expansion of Balaramji. Thus, Advaita Acharya is also the Lord, or more precisely, an expansion of the Lord. The word Advaita means non-dual, and his name is such because he's non-different from the Supreme Lord. So this Mahavishnu who lies on the causal ocean and so many universes are coming, he has come as Advaita Acharya. His expansion is Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya is also God. He's non-different. And he's called Acharya teacher because he disseminated Krishna consciousness. In his way, he just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In his way, he is just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although Lord Chaitanya is Sri Krishna himself, he appeared as a devotee to teach people in general how to love Krishna. Similarly, although Advaita Acharya is the Lord, he appeared just to distribute the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Thus, he is also the Lord incarnated as a devotee. So Krishna has such inconceivable ways. He came as Lord Chaitanya to teach us how to love him. He came that do like this, do like this. The teacher holds our hands and says, write like this, A, write like this, B, C. It doesn't mean the teacher doesn't know that she's practicing because she doesn't know. No, she's teaching us. So Lord Chaitanya came to show us how to love Krishna. And similarly, Advaita Acharya came to show us, he came to distribute this Krishna consciousness to us. He's one of the main branches from whom this Krishna consciousness expanded. So we can stop here for today. Any questions, comments? If no, then we stop here. Sri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.